This message comes from NPR sponsor Paramount Plus and the new original series, The Madison. Taylor Sheridan's most intimate story yet. The Madison follows a family raised in a world of digital distraction, forced by tragedy to truly see one another and come together. Starring Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell. The Madison. New series streaming now, only on Paramount Plus.
I want to go through this mishap and all the Iran news with actually the nation's greatest expert on just about everything. I'm serious. I know he'll playfully disagree, but retired Brigadier General Blaine Holt of the Air Force has been right about everything. Welcome back, General Holt. How are you?
It's great to be with you. Wow, what a news day, huh?
Hey, you didn't even playfully dispute that you're right about everything. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because you have been. Let's see, quick.
Okay. I playfully dispute that.
There you go. Okay, good. You're confident. I love it. Real quick. What should we talk about first? I guess we should talk about the mishap, the plane mishap. There's
Sure.
the situation. We'll get to Iran. What do you make of it? What have you seen so far? What happened last night at the airport?
Never a reason for this to happen. There are very specific procedures. They absolutely were not followed here. Looks like it's going to fall to the driver of the fire truck. But we will just remain open-minded until we find out for sure. But what I can't help but ask is, with them being thinly staffed on TSA and other elements across these airport systems, is the shift work really metered out fairly for those who do show up to work? Are they overstressed? Are they overfatigued? What is going on? And if there's linkages there, well, then look no further than to the cool kids in Congress who don't believe that government workers deserve a paycheck. Only they do.
How about that? Now, listen, it's very interesting because I have actually wondered about the truck driver here as well, the fire truck driver. And I noticed something, and I want you to notice it as well. Or actually, I'm going to present it to you, and you can tell us what you think. Carlos, we're going to play 16. And General Holt, I'll urge you to pay a special attention when the controller asks the fire truck, Are you on ground or tower? Okay, are you on ground frequency or tower frequency? And then listen to what happens next, or doesn't happen. Cut 16.
Stand by, United. Who's the vehicle needs across the runway? Emergency vehicles calling on ground, or are you calling on tower? Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower. Truck 1 and Company. Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta. Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta. Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
All right, stop there. General, and maybe I'm reading into this. Did you know it? What did you notice there, if anything?
It looks like the tower controller cleared him, and he went across. That doesn't forgive that truck driver of using his eyeballs to make sure that there's no aircraft around, but he should not have been cleared for that. And again, we're going to learn a whole lot more about this investigation, about human factors, who worked how many shifts, all of that stuff. LaGuardia has always been one of the most stressed out airports in the system. But we see too many of these now, Greg, and it's got to stop. This has got to stop. And you have to resource the transportation system appropriately. It's not just imperiling the public, it imperils our economy.
So one little thing I noticed, and I probably am reading too much into it, but you could hear the truck operator key the microphone, and about 3.5 seconds goes by before he starts speaking into the microphone. Now, to me, that heavily suggests lack of experience, stage fright. This is a notorious thing you got to work on with beginning flight students. Now, granted, he's not a flight student, but that tells me he was a little bit in over his head.
No, that's exactly right, and that's true. And then the other part is, why wouldn't the controller have just hit the red button we call guard, which transmits on all frequencies, fire truck, stop? And maybe you had one last chance at stopping this from occurring. The other thing is, they're reporting that the Canadian jet was moving at 24 miles per hour when it hit the fire truck. That's a heck of a lot of damage for 24 miles per hour. So I'll be interested to see what taxiing speed they were at when they impacted.
I saw the video, and to me, it looks like he's on landing rollout. He doesn't seem to be taxiing. He's going faster than 24 miles per hour. That's what it struck me as. There's one other thing here. And if you don't mind, let's play that again from the top,
Sure.
okay? Just check this out.
Stand by, United. Who's the vehicle needed across the runway? Emergency vehicles calling on ground, or are you calling on tower? Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower. Truck 1 and Company. Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta. Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta. Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Stop. Did you listen to how the controller took it? How the controller answered him. He said, Truck 1 and Company, you're cleared at Delta. Now, to me, that company actually meant that he was evaluating. He may have looked at the plane on final, thought that there was enough distance, and maybe there was. Maybe, just maybe there was. Like, because it seems to me that the truck potentially dawdles, doesn't go fast enough. Is that possible?
It's very possible. And then the other thing I'm certain that they know by now is when he asked to cross at that particular location, did the truck driver identify the proper location? So because what I heard in the controller's voice was, ooh, let me see if this is going to work out. And he identifies the location and goes, okay, go ahead. Again, so many unanswered questions, but I'm going to guess it's going to get back to human factors, experience, training, fatigue, and an under-resourced airport.
Very interesting. Now, let's let it go a little bit longer. Go ahead. Pick it up from where we were.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop. Stop. Yeah, 2384 is cleared in lane 8 for 41. 2384, proceed to ramp. Proceed in. Sorry, truck 1. Stop, truck 1. Stop. Stop, truck 1. Stop.
Okay, and there's the miss. Stop. Then the impact happens. Now, there are two sequences in there where I hear him tell truck 1 to stop. The first one and then the second one. Now, the first one, there's a problem with the first one. He just told Frontier to stop, and then he switches to tell truck 1 to stop, but it's not clear to me that he's talking to truck 1, and truck 1 never acknowledges that we know of. Then again, he could have done it on a frequency that we're not listening to.
That's right. That's exactly right. They had lost communications at that point with that truck, either through driver inattention or he's on the wrong freak. But again, something is not right with what's going on inside the truck. I am certain they're going to find problems in the tower.
Okay. Now, some people have seized on this, where the air traffic controller seems to be acknowledging culpability. Cut 17, please.
I did hear that. Yes.
Let's listen to this. Cut 17.
You have access. Frontier 4195, I got the word that we're going to be closed for a little while. If you want prepared to return to the ramp, let me know. Yeah, we got stuff in progress for that, man. That wasn't good to watch. Yeah, I know. I was here. I tried to reach out to my stuff, and we were dealing with an emergency earlier, and I messed up. No, man, you did the best you could. Truck 1 and Company.
So you hear it right there, I messed up. Now, I'm just going to point out, that is, I don't know about you, but I apologize a lot. Even if I don't do anything wrong, I'll apologize. Sure. I find myself apologizing for coming early. I find myself apologizing for being on time, coming late. And maybe he's a guy like that. It just doesn't, that's neither here nor there for me, or is it?
It's not an admission. It's grief. That is grief. And if this ever goes to some kind of court, that's how it's going to come across. It's grief. And it's, you see something happen before your very eyes. You're immediately going, how could I have stopped this? What could I have done? And he's going to get a chance to relive this for the next, months he's going to get to relive this. And my heart goes out to all involved because these controllers are under so much pressure. And again, we have to get into the resourcing and training issues, but my heart goes out to them because nobody wants that. Nobody wants that to happen.
Actually, you hear this one controller handling just about everything, and it's almost like, is that the problem right there? I mean, the whole tape, it's the same voice in the tower handling what seems to be ground. Actually, I can't tell if he's handling ground and air.
He's handling the ground freak and he's handling the tower freak, and that's typical these days for the midnight shift, for the graveyard shift. That's typical.
Is there any such thing as a graveyard shift at LaGuardia Airport, though? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the arrival time was, I think it's after 10 o'clock at night at LaGuardia. They start winding down staff.
No, what I mean is, though, like LaGuardia Airport at night is busier than a lot of airports during the day.
Yeah. No, that's right. That's exactly right.
All right. Well, it's we're going to have to wait and we'll see. We'll see. Hey, how about this? Give us the lay of the land with Iran. We had a pretty stark warning from President Trump, and then, hey, we're about to make a deal potentially. Let's see what happens. Where are we?
We're in really great shape. What a cool morning to wake up to find out that President Trump once again built leverage where he didn't really have any, and everybody's screaming and yelling as oil plummets $15 in 2 minutes. And then everybody who said the stock market was going to be in free fall today was awakened to an 1,100 point increase because he's stabilizing things within the context of his plan. And what people need to start realizing is the president is in command of intelligence that others do not have. And now you got the mullahs saying, well, we never talked to him. It's like, well, that's probably right. You probably did not talk to him. But somebody did. And it's somebody that President Trump thinks is the leader of this country. So you should be very careful about that.
Well, how about that? A couple of other little things here. Mr. Kent, I want to talk to you about him, but you were in the military. You served a career in the military. He ran around calling himself, deployed 11 times, and it's been picked up by his supporters. He deployed 11 times. I know that deployments vary wildly in length and exposure to danger. Could you give us an example of the shortest deployment that you ever heard of?
Oh, it could be a special assignment, could be a couple of weeks, could be 30 days. It could be any duration. If somebody cuts you deployment orders and you go and pull the right gear for that particular mission set, that is a deployment. What are the risks? What are the dangers? It's not one size fits all. Everything comes in different packages.
So I'm going through his book carefully, and I know at least one of his deployments was 3 months at maximum, because he says he left in the spring and he comes back in June. So, I mean, that could be, and I knew he was playing a game, and I think, quite frankly, I've seen others, I haven't actually seen it to this extent, but, you know, what's more impressive, 3 3-month deployments or 1 year deployment? You know, people are going to think, oh, you deployed 3 times? Wow. It's a deceptive game. I find it to be, and I find it really off-putting, and I'm seeing it more and more because, quite frankly, there seems to be a competition in the military for lucrative or to benefit as much as possible from your military experience. You know what I mean?
Well, I do. I guess the Air Force, we're very different because, like in the Airlift Command where I served, I can tell you I've had a 90-day deployment where I was shot at a couple of times during the deployment, and I've had a 1-year deployment where the danger was much lower. And so I guess I would have to know what exactly occurred on the particular deployment. And I take your meaning well, and I understand what you're saying. But everybody's service ends up cutting down differently. And then I have seen servicemen. I'm not talking about Kent, but I have seen service members revel in things that maybe were overly embellished, and that's always sad for all of us. And it shouldn't happen that way. And so hopefully, I haven't read his book, but hopefully all of it is at least truthful. But I don't know the case.
No, he's laying around the pool in half the book. He mentions swimming pools in Iraq more than he mentions America First or MAGA, literally. Yeah. No, and I want to make sure it's not the length of the deployment that's particularly important of me. It's his marketing. I find his marketing of his service disingenuous. 11 deployments. When you say that, it is meant to impress. It is designed to impress. Sure. And when I look at the nature of some of his deployments, right? I mean, he's trying to confuse people, and that's the thing I don't like. And 11 deployments is a little bit much. And he wants people to think that it was combat and very intense. And there's something about this guy that's wrong. And what else? He ran for Congress twice and lost. I mean, this guy wants to be somebody. Fair enough?
Sure. Yeah. No, I understand. It's a complicated situation. I'll tell you what I did like is that when you cannot in whatever reason for your conscience, go with what the strategy is or what the administration's doing, well, then you should resign. And I do understand that. That resignation, some might see it as an attempt to put a black eye on the president. I don't see it that way because I saw it as a clean resignation. I know why he put that letter out there was because so many people would want to bastardize it and that type of stuff. And so I'm not so much into evaluating and judging as I am. This is a bad situation, and will get cleared up very, very quickly on the battlefield as we watch the admin be successful in Iran, which I think is going to happen.
Well, you called the start of that war and the way it's been executed, and also your insights into Ukraine, Russia. That's
the problem today.
That's the problem.
Ukraine, Russia.
Yeah.
Because Ukraine is reveling in the fact that they took out a Baltic Sea oil terminal for the Russians. And I don't know what Western Intel Service signed off on that crap. But at a time when we have a potential oil and gas shortage and a fertilizer shortage going on, this is no time for that. That's not where you go score your military victory, because it's just about oil on the world market. And I just think that was a very dumb move strategically.
Oh, boy. Yeah, no, it's, I get it. Blaine, Holt, you get everything. Amazing insight, amazing commentary and knowledge.
I will defer that statement, but I do appreciate your confidence in me.
Blaine Holt, everybody. Hey, at the _irascible on X, and give us the name of that.
Dangerous Intellectuals.
The podcast, Dangerous Intellectuals.
Yes, .com. We've got Mr. Reagan on today, a.k.a. Chris Poles, who talks about the culture war and what he's doing about it.
Oh, excellent. That guy is fantastic. And so are you. All the best, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Thanks so much.